Hey everyone, welcome back to Swish 710 Bowling. I'm Jeff and we're here with another great ball review for you today for the newest release from Brunswick. But before we do that, if you do end up liking this video, please drop a like and subscribe here on YouTube. And also I have a TikTok. If you want to follow me over there for some short reels and clips and maybe some previews of ball reviews to come, you can check that out too. So we're going to be talking today about the new Brunswick Infinity. This is a kind of an interesting ball that Brunswick released because it's got a little higher RG, little different differential. So we'll talk about that in a second. So the first thing I want to point out are the core numbers. So we're looking at a 2.52 RG and a 0.051 differential, a 0.010 intermediate differential. So the RG is a little higher and the differential's also a little higher than some of Brunswick's other stuff. And you're getting this in a hybrid package. And that hybrid package is based upon the activator cover stock. And where have we seen activator cover stock before? The old Brunswick Inferno, which was a classic. Lots of people love the Brunswick Inferno. I think it won a lot of titles on the PBA Tour. I know a lot of league bowlers loved it. So this is an updated version of that in a hybrid form. And we're going to see what it looks like compared to all the new and it's obvious that the intent here is to create a bit more length, a bit more recovery. So we're going to take a look and we're going to see in the shots I throw how that works out. So let's take a look at what the ball actually looks like when you pull it out of the box. As you can see, there's a fair bit of surface to it. It does have some bite. It lane shines up a bit after you throw it a little, so it's not going to stay dull like this all the time. So how did I lay this ball out? So the layout that I went with is 53 by 5 by 40. Now, you might be thinking, 53? That's a weird number. Like, why not 50? Why not 55? So here's how I got to 53. Originally, I wanted to do something a little more drastic. I wanted to go 70 by 5 3/8 by 60, which would put the pin in the middle finger. And I talked to my friend Carlos Tabone, who you might remember from some of my past videos, and he said that the ball might be a bit too weak, the pin's too far away, so I should do something stronger. He suggested 45 by 5 by 45. That kicked the mass bias out a little more than I wanted it to. I wanted something that was going to be a little more dynamic on the back end. So I thought, okay, well, let's do 60 by 5 by 40, so, or 45. So I thought about that. I looked at it and I thought, okay, well, you know what? Maybe Carlos is right. Maybe the mass bias is a little bit too close to the thumb. So let's go and we'll take the difference of 60 and 45. Right in the middle of that is 53. 53. That's how we got to 53. And here you can see what the ball actually looked like when it finished being drilled. Sometimes that's just how we do layouts. You know what? Fine. You know, we'll see if it works. And we'll take it out to the lanes right now. And we'll show you if it worked.
All right, so we're here at Strikers Lanes. And we're going to be testing out the Brunswick Infinity. We've got a fresh house shot out now. They oiled the lanes for me. There's a leak going on just to the right of me, so they oiled the lane so that I can bowl a little bit and do this video for you guys. So we will start off. I'm not going to be revving the ball too much. Just kind of play down and in and see what happens. Yeah, nice medium line. I didn't really get on it too much. The ball read pretty well. Had a decent amount of pop in the back end, so let's see if we can throw another one like that. The Infinity is actually one of the bowling balls I found more interesting that the 7 brands of Brunswick is releasing lately, because if you look at their line, there's not a lot of higher RG, higher differential balls, and this Infinity seems to be the start of that. It looks like something that they're going more to now, so if you want balls that are a little more dynamic as far as their length and back end, I think the Infinity is a really good start for that. So let's try one more. Yep. So you can see it reads that back end pretty well, but it doesn't overhook, which is good. It reads it, it's very controllable, but it still gives you a decent amount of power if there's a decent amount of oil. This is a ball that you're going to want to look at for something where you don't want the biggest hooking ball on the market because maybe it hooks too early for you, or maybe you just can't control it, but you still need something that has a little traction. Hybrid balls with like a sheen surface are something that I look to when I want a ball like that. So let's see, I'm going to move a couple boards left. See what happens. Maybe I'll get around a little more. Get it in the oil a little bit. And I didn't get it out as much in ring 10, so I can make an adjustment off of that. So that adjustment, what I'm going to make is I like where my feet are, even though I just moved right from where I was striking. So to get that ball back to the pocket, I'm just going to move my target maybe a half a board right and let this ball do a little more work. See what it's got. So I will stand in the same place I was. I'm just going to move my eyes a little bit to the right. That's right. Get that ball going. There we go. Get the 9-pin out. So what we're looking at is a bowling ball that definitely needs a little bit of dry. Like I said, it's not the biggest hooking ball in the world. I don't think it's meant to be. It's not designed to be. That's not what this ball is for. So this is kind of like the first step down from the medium, from the high-end bowling balls. And I think this Infinity seems to be pretty good from there. So let's try another one. I'll keep my eyes right again. Yeah, absolutely. So you can see that one just read a whole lot better than the ones where I wasn't getting it right. That was just, for my ball speed, I always need to make sure I'm hitting a little bit of dry. Always need to make sure I'm hitting some dry, because if I just hit only oil with my ball speed, that ball is just going to go dead straight. So let's go a little more left. And then maybe I'll put a little more on the ball. And we'll get up to what a higher rev player might go. So I'm going to go 6 left with my feet. And we'll see what this one does and make an adjustment off of that. Yeah, see, so I got that ball to the same place that the 10-pin was, but with the higher rev rate, that ball came back pretty well. All right, so let's try another one from there. So where was I? I was standing on 26 is where I am right now. Getting it right. Yeah, easy. Still striking from there too. Like, that ball showing no signs of being a flat 10 either. So I'm just gonna go more left. Let's do it, more left. I'm gonna keep going left until we flat 10, right? Or something else bad happens. So I was 26, let's go to 30. So now I'm standing on 30, which is in this bowling center, the last dot on the left, because there's only 5 dots. And we'll see if we can get it right again. Wheel. Yeah, look at that. So all sorts of different angles you can play with this ball. I played a little straighter, moved in, still hit the pocket pretty solid, moved in more, still hit the pocket pretty solid. There's no signs of this ball rolling out or anything like that. So let's throw one more from there. And then we'll play around a little more. Oh, I got all of that one. Oh my God. Wow, it's a good thing I got every last bit of that one. because I may have missed a little right. So, okay, so that means I've got a little swing area. Always like to see that. All right, so do we want to go more left? I guess we can. Let's throw a little more left. We'll see what happens. I don't want to get too greedy. The lanes obviously aren't set up for how far left I am right now, but I don't know. What the hell, right? So let's go another 5 left. It's now standing on 35. And we'll just project it right and see what it does. Oh, did not project it right. Did not project it right. We were lucky we got that messenger coming over. But fortunately, it still gets some good back end on that ball, even missing that far left. It still was able to hit the back end and hook a little bit. So let's try one more. That shot doesn't count. Where was I? 35? Yeah, 35. All right. Let's. This time we'll go right. That was a little better. Oh my God, that messenger. Oh Lord. All right. By the way, in case you're keeping count, we have the front 8 right now. Except for that, no, we have that 10 pin in there. So after the 10 pin, I think we've got an 8-bagger. Do we? I don't remember. Maybe it's a 6-bagger, I don't know. But you can see this ball definitely performs from a lot of different places on the lane. So we'll go a little more left one time. This probably isn't going to strike, but I'll go to 38. Yeah, 39. As far left as I can get without hitting the ball return. So this probably won't strike, but I don't know. I've been surprised before. I'll just keep this speed down. Yeah, wow, look at that. How do you like that? So Brunswick Infinity, definitely very versatile ball. So let's do a couple of comparisons to a couple of Trax balls, because I obviously am a track staffer. So let's compare it. First, I'm going to compare it to another hybrid ball with a little bit of surface in the line. That's our Kinetic Cobalt. And this ball has a little stronger layout than the Infinity does, but it's not as strong a ball, so maybe they'll counteract each other. So I'm going to go back to the right where I was before, and we'll see if this ball does kind of the same thing. Now you can see that ball a little more of a hockey stick shape. It went a little longer down the lane and it was a little more responsive, but it kind of straightened out a little more. So I did miss a little right though, but you can see that Infinity, when I got it right, was hooking back. This Cobalt, just a little bit weaker of a ball. Didn't quite get back from there. So let's try, I'm gonna move to right, but I'm also gonna still get it right. There we go. So yeah, absolutely, the Cobalt is a weaker bowling ball for sure. Definitely a step down from the Infinity. Now, when would I go from Infinity to a Kinetic Cobalt? If I was bowling on a shorter pattern and it started off with a little more volume, maybe not like super short, not like Cheetah, but 38, 39 feet, and there was a lot of volume, I might start with the Infinity. And then when they broke down a little less volume, maybe I go to the Kinetic Cobalt then. So let's throw one more with the Cobalt Kinetic Cobalt. So I had moved one right. And let's see what this one does. Yeah, good ball for playing a little straighter, I think. Absolutely. The Infinity, I think, wants to curve a little more, like arc a little more. Whereas the Cobalt Kinetic, seems to want to just be a little straighter in the mids and the front, and then it makes it a little more of a hockey stick shape, and it straightens out a little more. So I think for me anyway, Cobalt Kinetic is a little better from straighter angles. So now we'll try the other hybrid ball in the track line, which is the Paragon hybrid. And this ball has a lot less surface on it. It's a stronger core, but it's a weaker cover because it's a little shinier. So I'm not expecting this ball to get back to the pocket, but I guess you never know. So I'm going to go right where I was with the Kinetic and throw the same kind of shot, see what happens. Yeah, you can see that ball just read the dry a lot harder than the Kinetic did. But the core in this Paragon hybrid, you can see really, once it got revving and changed direction, that thing went. It's a rev monster in the back end, this Paragon hybrid. So let's move a little bit left and see what happens. So I'm going to move three left with my feet. Still going to get it right though. Yeah, so it's what you'd expect from your typical asymmetric ball. So I'll go throw the, you know what? I'll have a guest here. We're going to have our guest, Jamal Kahak. Jamal is two-handed, which I cannot do. So Jamal is going to throw this Brunswick Infinity, and we'll see what it does for him. Now, he's got no practice on this lane, so he has no idea what it's going to do. It's just a house shot, so whatever you would usually do on a house shot, Jamal. I'll zoom it out a little bit so you can see Jamal here. And I'll zoom in when he throws it. Yeah. So you can see you get that same type of motion that I got with it.
Very smooth.
Yeah. It is very smooth, but it's very continuous too, right? It didn't roll out or anything like that, and he was able to basically get on it. Throw another shot, move a bunch left, and see what it does. Mm-hmm. Jamal says decent amount of flare, so I'm going to zoom it out again. All right, didn't quite get it to the right as much, and saw the same thing that happened when I didn't get it to the right. It's just not, there's a lot of soup in the middle in this bowling center. So if you don't really get it right, the ball just kind of hangs there. It's still going to hook enough to strike, to hit the pocket, but it's not really going to hook enough sometimes to get the corners out. So you got to make sure that you do get a little bit to the right. So Jamal's going to throw one more shot. He's going to get left again, but he's going to get it right this time. He's not going to be afraid to get it right and see what this ball can do. Yep, I said he was going to get it right, but apparently I lied. I lied. You didn't get it right. I lied to my viewers. All right. And keep in mind, he's throwing my bowling ball, so this doesn't fit him at all. It has a thumb hole in it.
Even moving in the first place.
He's throwing my ball.
Decent flare.
Yeah, the ball does flare, but it's got like a medium higher differential. Okay, so this time get it right, Jamal. Third time's a charm, right? Then I'll zoom out a bit so you can see it, and then I'll zoom in when he goes. Nope, I lied again. All right.
But I hit it harder, so
yeah, he hit it harder, he says, so it came back, so yeah. But, so that's what a two-hander can do with the ball. Hopefully you get a couple of different, a different kind of viewpoint. Maybe if you're a two-hander, you're watching this, I don't, rev it as much as they might, so you get to see it. So I'm going to throw a couple more, and then we'll do some wrap-up. So let's see. I'm not gonna go as far left as I was before. I'm just going to throw a nice normal shot somewhere. Let's see, I'm just going to stand on 27. This is going to be somewhere just to the left of the third arrow. I'm pretty close to it. Yeah. And yeah, get it to the dry, and it absolutely comes back. Doesn't roll out, which is the first thing I look for. When I have a ball, I want to go left to right. The first thing I look for is the shape it makes on the back end. Is it a continuous circle, or does it kind of want to die and roll out a little bit? And this Infinity absolutely does not want to roll out. It seems to hold its energy really well. And as long as I make sure I'm using the ball, I guess, I don't want to say the way it's intended, but as long as I'm getting it right enough and not keeping it in that flood with my ball speed. Like if you have, let me clarify, if you have a slower ball speed, keep it in the soup, keep it in the oil, it'll be fine for you because your ball's going to grab when mine won't. I throw it very hard, and for me, I have to make sure I'm getting it to the dry a little bit. If you're bowling on a sport pattern, this is going to be a great ball to just keep it in front of you and not do anything crazy with. It's not going to hit the back end and make a hockey stick, you know, crazy, unpredictable left turn, which when you're bowling on sport patterns, I think is absolutely something you want. So that's the Brunswick Infinity, and let's do some closing thoughts. Thanks.
4 main points I want to make for closing thoughts for the Brunswick Infinity. First, I think the cover plus core combo work really well here. The hybrid cover plus the slightly higher RG and higher differential allows the ball to get a little further down the lane and to have a good amount of recovery on the back end, so you're able to shape the ball a lot more, maybe loop the ball more than you might be used to with some other balls in the line. Second, the activator cover from the original Inferno, apparently it's still got it. It's kind of cool to see that they brought that back and they've updated it, and I really liked what they've done with it. Like I said before, it works really great in this piece of equipment, and I hope to see more of it in the future. I mean, the activator cover stock is it's kind of a piece of history with Brunswick because of how successful and how famous the Inferno was. So it would be kind of cool if they kind of stick with that and put that on some other balls coming out in the future. Third, I think the Brunswick Infinity is a great medium oil transition option. If you're a higher rev player, you want to move in. There's still a decent amount of oil inside, but you don't want to use something that's dull because it won't have a good amount of recovery. You don't want to go to something shiny. It might skid too far, be too over under. This is a great ball to fit into that niche for that first transition piece. And fourth, if you are a lower speed player and you're looking for a heavy oil ball, buying the latest greatest hook monster might not be the best thing for you. The ball just might hook too early and run out of energy. This is the kind of ball that you can use in place of a heavier oil big hook monster option, and I think it'll work great because for a lower speed player, it will help get the ball down the lane a little better than maybe some of the biggest, latest and greatest hooking balls are. So that's what I've got to say about the Brunswick Infinity. If you get one, let me know if you like it or not in the comments. And if you have anything else you'd like to say, please feel free to leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.